Climate change, one of the world's most severe problems, requires global engagement, especially from the developed countries. And indeed, the developed countries are believed to be the ones who should take more responsibility in combating climate change. Why is that? Well, first of all, developed countries are very likely to be the pioneers in provoking climate change. Since the invention of the steam engine in the 18th century, developed countries such as England have witnessed a transformation into an energy-rich economy. The United Nations chart shown below have suggested that the US and the UK were the first countries or trendsetters in exploiting coal, and not until the 20th century when the developing countries such as China and India follow the developed countries. The big question here now is how coal production and consumption are relative to climate change. As a matter of fact, the carbon dioxide released while we burning coal will stay on our atmosphere for 30 to thousands of years. Therefore, past emissions are remarkably related to today's greenhouse impacts. And if countries should take responsibility for their past emissions, then developed countries should have a stronger obligation than developing countries in combating climate change.
Secondly, in terms of time, the largest amount of emissions were created by developed countries, which result in long-term climate change effects. Coal consumption can be taken as a prominent example. Investigating the chart, each citizen in three most powerful countries, namely the US, UK, and Japan, consumed the biggest amount of coal per year from 1965 to 2010. Meanwhile, the coal consumption in the less developed countries has just accelerated for the past 2 decades. It is argued that the emission from coal combustion in developing countries also negatively impacts on climate change. However, considering the capacities of greenhouse gas emission from developed countries in such a long period of time, the amount of emission in developing countries is negligible in comparison. So, who should lead the world to deal with climate change? No one else but developed countries. Last but not least, developed countries have not fulfilled their commitment to help developing countries to deal with climate change. The approvals in Paris Agreement in 2010 indicates that developed countries provide financial support to developing countries to meet the huge cost of adaptation actions, particularly through the Green Climate Fund. It worth $100 billion. It is undeniable that many developing countries have gained a lot of benefit from this fund. However, by 2019, the actual amount of money subsidized has only accounted for 20% of the total budgets. With the commitment of the leading country, they are urged to much more attempt to empower poor countries to cope with climate change financially.